I think a lot of gay people are waking up and going, why did we let the trans people in this group? They're making us look terrible.
Well, lesbians are having a real problem with it because there's a lot of trans men who identify as lesbian.
Yes.
Or trans women. They say they're a lesbian, and they get on lesbian apps, and these girls are like, I'm looking for a vagina. Gay guys think that the movement is homophobic because you're telling a young gay guy, no, you're a woman. Some people, it must be true because it's always been a thing. Like, to have real gender dysphoria, to be in your mind, feel like a woman, has always been a thing, even if you're a guy. Also, when you encourage that and you reward people socially for that, and then you have Pride Day at kindergarten, and you're talking about like sexual orientation of people that are nowhere near puberty, which is really crazy. Then you start like having people that become trans, all of a sudden they're amazing. Yeah. Where they were just really mediocre before. Like Bruce Jenner. He was the goof of the Kardashian show. This motherfucker was on the cover of Wheaties. Star. He was a star. Yeah. He was a fucking gold medalist in the decathlon and the goddamn Olympics. Yeah. He was a national stud. Hero. Yeah. He was a stud. Yeah. And meanwhile, he's on this show with these influencers, and he's just getting nothing. Right. He's just mocked. He's like, I could be a pretty gal. Openly mocked. He becomes a woman. He's Woman of the Year in 6 months. He took over the fucking game. He's a winner. It's like a Chinese autistic kid coming into your math class and fucking up the curve. Everyone loved him until he started saying he was voting for Trump. Yeah. This person, call him Caitlyn, call her Caitlyn, whatever, doesn't seem to care. Right. Like, is fine with you dead naming her, whatever. Like, this is who she is now. Right. She's comfortable in her own skin, 60 years old, out of the closet, the whole deal. Yay. I saw this thing online where someone was saying it's okay to misgender Caitlyn Jenner because she voted for Trump. So, okay, so transphobia is okay if someone differs with you politically? It's crazy. Like, what are you doing? I know. You're not being compassionate. You're not being kind. All these things that you said is only with total compliance are you willing to give people this grace. You must have total compliance to our ideology or you're cast out of the kingdom. It's a leverage of power. Even if you're a trans woman, which is like at the top of the oppression list, they're above regular cannibals, poor black people, poor Mexicans, like poor immigrants. Trans people's at the top of the mountain. If a guy sucks a dick, let's give him a parade. Let's put him in the White House. Let's celebrate how. Exactly. Let's give him in charge of the fucking guy in the dress who's in charge of nuclear energy. Just let him suck dick. That was stealing women's clothes. Yeah, just let him suck dick. We didn't need him to be in power. That person's not exceptional just because they wear a dress. Right. That's crazy. That's a nutty person. You're not virtuous. There's a big difference between just letting someone live their life and being kind to them in society and not treating them different and giving them all the same rights, as opposed to celebrating it. What we need to do is just let people be themselves. Right. And figure out who that is. What is weird is when it becomes encouraged. Miguel Schreier wrote a book about this, about how many girls that are on the spectrum get convinced that they're trans. Yeah. And then the problem is there's some states that allow you, I think if you're 15, you can go and get puberty blockers, or at the very least you can get testosterone. I know you can do that, but I think Planned Parenthood prescribes more testosterone than anybody, which is really crazy if that's true. I think in some places they help people with gender transition. So, and if you're a girl in some states, you don't even have to be an adult. You can go to them and you don't have the permission of your parents. Right. And if you, I don't know who you have to consult with or what you have to do, but I've heard it's alarmingly easy. Yeah. And then now you're on testosterone. And one of the things that testosterone does is it alleviates anxiety. Makes you feel stronger. You feel like more alert. You're more alive. Like, this is what I was missing. Right. I was missing testosterone. It's like, no, you weren't. No, you weren't. That's not a natural part of your body. You just added something and now you feel way different. But now you're going to change your voice. And if you grow out of this, and if this is just a phase, well, now you've fucked up your life and you can't ever have children. Right. And there's a bunch of those ladies out there. The detransitioners, they're stuck with deep voices for their whole lives. They're stuck with masculine features. They've cut their breasts off. And I got in trouble for posting. Fucking expression, gender-affirming care freaks me out, man. I got in trouble for posting this. I said, if genitals don't define gender, how does removing them affirm it? You said, like, I don't need to have a vagina to be a woman. Then why do I need to remove my penis to be a woman? Well, the number of gender-affirming hormone therapy visits to Planned Parenthood tripled between 2021 and 2023, growing from 800 visits per year to more than 2,500. That shows you that it's a social contagion, and that's Abigail Schreier's position. What is the actual odds that 9 friends all become trans? What are the odds of that? It's almost zero.
Preposterous.
It's preposterous.
Absolutely.
It is also a real thing. Like, there's always been people that have felt like they should have been a woman. And if you're a grown adult and you want to make that decision, yeah, you do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
I've met trans people that say they are very happy with what they've done.
Yeah.
That's great. You got to know what the fuck that is. And when you're 13, you don't. I think the other problem is that the whole way they do it, you can't orgasm ever again. You don't really have a vagina. You have this hole. Right? And then you have to keep that hole dilated. You have to stick something inside it. I think it's like lip jobs. Like, don't get the early ones.
Right.
Wait till they get this down. Don't let people experiment on you by splicing your dick open like a hot dog. Wait.
Yeah.
Just hang in there.
Wait for the iPod
Wait for
6.
gene therapy. Because I firmly believe it might not be in our lifetime, but if maybe in our children or our grandchildren's lifetime, gene editing will get to a place where they will be able to turn you into whatever the fuck you want.